Hello again, everybody! Zack Attack is here with the Atakline for Thursday, December 20th, 2012, aka the day before the end of the world as we know it. As many people would predict, of course, tomorrow is, of course, 12/21/12, which means the end of the Mayans calendar and the supposed end of the world, which I don't think is going to happen because my dad keeps telling me about it's like the end of the old world and the beginning of a new one or whatever. So it's not gonna be the end of the world. It'll just be. It won't be like we're not gonna die tomorrow. It'll just be the end of the world when it comes to end of that. It's like the end of the normal world, like into a new universe or whatever. Like that actually before it too. So there you go. On with the entertainment news of the day. Starting with a little update on the Kesha story I reported yesterday. Yesterday I reported on my attack line that Kesha's Die Young Among Many Songs has been pulled off the radio airwaves in the wake of the horrific tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut this past Friday. It's not just because the song's bad, it's because of the fact of those two words, Die Young. Of course, Kesha tweeted twice yesterday about it, saying that she was kind of forced to sing it. Well, later retracting that tweet and writing down another tweet saying sorry about the incident. Well, today Kesha clarified the whole situation with a formal statement she released today about this whole situation about Die Young being pulled from the radio following the aftermath of the Sandy Hook tragedy. Writing on her website, after such a tragic event, I was feeling a lot of emotion and sadness when I said I was forced to sing some of the lyrics to Die Young. Forced is not the right word. Of course, I mentioned that statement. She wrote and retracted it. I did have some concerns about the phrase Die Young in the chorus when we were writing the lyrics. Of course, I mentioned she co-wrote the song with various people, including the guy from Fun and also I forgot who else. But anyway, she had concerns about it because so many of my friends are young, and that's one reason why I wrote so many versions of this song. The point of this song is the importance of living every day to the fullest and staying young at heart. And these are things I truly believe. Like I said, that's what the song is about. Living while we're young, but unfortunately, just the phrase "die young" is getting a lot of backlash because of the whole situation. Of course, the airwaves, airplay charts. I think the song's gone down a bit down the charts because of that. Many stations are pulling it because of that incident with Sandy Hook, because of those two words. And like I mentioned also yesterday, many songs that besides Catch have been pulled, including Pumped Up Kicks, and even some songs on country radio, like by Die Young, by the band Perry, and Benedict, and other songs have been pulled because of insensitivity at this sad time. So there you go. Castro releases a statement about it. A formal statement about the whole situation with Die Young being pulled and her full composed reaction to it after tweeting it out yesterday. I also like to mention I live in Michigan, and some Michigan schools are actually closed today and tomorrow because of 12/21/12 and also some threats about students getting threatened after the whole kind of Sandy Hook thing. That's what I read about. It's like national news about Michigan. But that's not the only national news about Michigan. Well, that's the bad news about Michigan, but several Michigan schools closing. Thank God one of isn't. That means my scheduled Almont show that I mentioned has been canceled because of that. We're postponed to January 11th. I was going to do lunches tomorrow on 12/21/12 for Almont Middle as a reward for them, as I mentioned on my attack on yesterday, but they canceled it because of the school closings, because of threats and stuff, which on a personal level, it's stupid. Like I said yesterday, it takes one big make Americans go crazy. After the whole Aurora thing this past July, the shooting in the theater, everyone was afraid to go to the movies. Now after this shooting in Sandy Hook, everyone's afraid to go to schools because they're going to get threatened, they feel like. So that's my humble opinion on it. But besides that news on Michigan, today Michigan does get some great news. As Metallica announced today that their festival, Orion Music and More, which took place this past June in New Jersey, the inaugural edition, will be returning in 2013 in Detroit Yes, Detroit, Michigan will host the inaugural, the second annual Orion Music and More Festival to be headlined by Metallica on June 8th and 9th, which will be a Saturday and Sunday affair. Specific venue details, if it's at Ford Field or Comerica Park, or I would guess Hart Plaza, where Movement is. Specific details, including that and the artists besides Metallica, will be announced formally in February. But at least we got the details. It's the small details. Orion Music and More, second annual, back in 2013, in Detroit, Michigan. Someone was else fearing this too. I was fearing that Orion was going to be in the East Coast again, like in New Jersey, like it was this past year. But glad it's in Detroit. I hope I can go. I hope I'm not busy, because it's a busy weekend for me. See, that weekend seems to be a big weekend for me. Hopefully I can get it off so I can see this Metallica show. Back. Anyway, so there you go. Metallica, Orion, in Detroit in 2013. And speaking of Jersey, I'll get to some Jersey news, especially the end of a TV show. Finally. But first I'll get some little iTunes news. Now, many artists have finally relented their holdout on iTunes. Of course, recently, AC/DC became a recent artist that finally held out, and finally got on iTunes. Kid Rock also finally relented and released his new album, Rebel Soul, on iTunes last month. The big question has been and was, will all of his back catalog be released? The answer to that question is yes. Yes, Kid Rock's albums, all his back catalog, will be released on iTunes. I searched up iTunes last night. I don't know if it's still up. It's probably still up. Went to Kid Rock's page, and all of his albums. Devil Without a Cause, History of Rock, Cocky, Kid Rock, Rock and Roll Jesus, and Born Free. I don't think the live album, Live Truck, was on there. But all of his back catalog is available for pre-order right now on iTunes. And I think they said the release date of those albums on iTunes, I think it would be like January, I think the 18th? I think the 18th. Or something, or 14th. But, hold on a moment, I'm looking. I'm going on iTunes as I speak, looking up the details, because I mentioned I just searched up Kid Rock's name on iTunes last night and found out his album's on pre-order. I don't think it's public on Kid Rock's site or on iTunes that the Kid Rock albums will be released formally on iTunes in January. I think they're going to withhold that news until they do come out. But, I think they just took it off. I think they're out. I think. I gotta. Check on that. His albums are on pre-order right now. The date will be January 15th. Yeah, January 15th will be the day of the release of all Kid Rock's back catalog. Like it's in the Live Trucker album is counted. His live albums counted. So all of his albums and all his studio albums, the rest of them, including his live album, will be released on iTunes January 15th. Available for pre-order right now. And like I said, not public on Kid Rock's website, but I just searched it up last night. They're quietly doing this. And that was a big question when Kid Rock finally relented. So his back catalog will be on iTunes in January 15th. Now, I mentioned, of course, Metallica Orion going to Detroit after last year being in Jersey. Well, speaking of Jersey, tonight's the night that the entire world's been waiting on for a long time. Tonight is the final episode of the Jersey Shore. Final fucking Jersey Shore is canceled tonight. The last episode takes place at 10, following reunion special. I call Jersey Shore the worst thing on television besides Honey Boo Boo. Hopefully Honey Boo Boo gets canceled soon. But the song that I know everyone's going to sing with me tonight, all around the country and the world, Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, Jersey Shore. Goodbye. Good fucking winnings. The only bad thing is J. Wow Snooki's show has been renewed. I don't think Paulie D's renewed, thank God. But anyway, there you go. Jersey Shore finally ends tonight. Thank God. And if the war does end tomorrow, which I hope it does, I mentioned, even if the war does end, if it does, at least we'll know that Jersey Shore ended before the war did. If it does, but I don't think it's going to happen. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I was doing that end of the war thing for comedy's sake. Now, on with TNA Impact Wrestling preview for tonight, December 20th, Championship Thursday, what could be the final Impact ever if the apocalypse does happen, which, like I said, is probably not in my mind. Type 5 questions that must be answered tonight for Championship Thursday on Impact, which is taped, by the way. It's not live. Starting with question number 5. We'll go down in a big celebration party for Daniels. Now, Daniels, of course, defeated AJ Styles at Final Resolution last week. We saw what happened on last week's Impact with AJ Styles walking out, saying he's going to do his own thing. While we don't know what's up with AJ, Daniels is going to have a big party held by Kazarian. Kazarian kind of teased it last week, and now the party will take place tonight. The celebration party for Daniels beating AJ Styles. Question number 4. Who will take on Tara for the Knockouts Championship tonight as part of our 3 title matches for tonight? Now, Tara will be defending the title, but she doesn't know against who. Brooke Hogan will make that decision. She'll pull a Hulk and choose who she thinks should face Tara. Will it be Gail Kim, ODB, Brooke Tessmacher, Miss Tessmacher, or the returning Velvet Sky? So Brooke will have to choose one of those 4 to take on Tara. I'd pick Velvet, but I don't think Velvet will get the Knockouts title back quickly. Of course, Velvet returned 2 weeks ago. Returned through the ring last week against Madison Rayne. So we'll see if Velvet does get the shot or not tonight. But indeed, Tara may probably retain against whoever she faces. Doesn't matter who. Probably with help from Jesse, her little boy toy. Speaking of other titles on the line, question number 3, where we'll go down the TV title match tonight. Besides the knockout title, we do have a TV title match as Devon from Ace and Eight will defend against Kurt Angle. Now, Kurt Angle is apparently injured right now, so he may be written off of Impact tonight. Of course, we saw Angle get attacked last week by a member of Ace and Eight, nailing him on the leg. So we'll see if the injury storyline or not will affect Kurt Angle tonight in this matchup against Devon. But I bet you probably Kurt Angle will probably lose since, like I said, he's injured. It may be written off so he can recover from his injury. So there you go. Devon, Angle. See what happens. And I smell a lot of Ace and Eight members getting involved in that matchup. Because like I said before, when there's one Ace and Eight member in the ring, you can expect the other Ace and Eight members to not be so far away. So there you go. Question number 2. Will anything be announced for the next TNA pay-per-view? Genesis. Maybe not, but we'll see if anything does get added. And question number 1. We'll go down to TNA title match between Jeff Hardy and Austin Aries. Yes, we had an Impact last week with Jeff Hardy throwing down the challenge to Austin Aries for a title match tonight on Impact. And the challenge was apparently accepted. It will be Austin Aries getting his long-awaited rematch following the tremendous ladder match against Jeff Hardy at the October pay-per-view Turning Point in a match tonight on Impact. So we'll see if Hardy retains that title or not on Impact Championship Thursday at 8, 7 Central on Spike TV. That's it for my Atakline for today. See you all later today for my Impact review. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the news from Zach. See you later. Thank you very much again. Yeah.